scatter plot the healthy plot. Okay, this is a good way to always remember scatter plot. But why I said it's a healthy plot? Because it's healthy, because the only thing he cares about after x and y axis is the sizes. So scatter plot, when we are doing, and you guys gonna see it in actually when we start coding, it's gonna be x axis, y axis, and then the sizes. Because the thing about a scatter like function or plot in general is perfect for showing how each data point behaves individually without connecting lines. So like it's gonna be just the circles without any lines, and this is how it's gonna be represented. Okay, so this is just a small introduction about scatter plot, and let's begin. So at any plot we have to specify x and y axis. So let's start with x axis. Same thing, line space. Hopefully you guys by now like pretty familiar with line space as we used it several times in our episode so far. So 0 to 3 by 200. Okay, what this means, like quick recap, it just mean it's gonna start at 0, end in 3 pi, which is 9.42, and has 200 evenly spaced point in between. So between 0 and 3 pi, gonna has 200 evenly spaced point on the x-axis, and this is x. So 200 evenly spaced points between 0 and 3 pi. Okay, now let's go to x-axis sister, which is y-axis. Cosine x plus rand 1 to 100. I want to mention one more time that all the example is pretty much based on like MATLAB documentation, and also I do mention this because in many exam, when you guys have any exams about MATLAB or like practical all this stuff, you guys are allowed to use MATLAB documentation. So when MATLAB documentation become your source, this will be super helpful like along your way in learning. So you can always like refer back to MATLAB documentation, and it can always like see different tips and tricks and advices, even examples. And we showed in episode 1 how we can find help in MATLAB. Okay, returning back. So now cosine x plus rand 1 to 200. Okay, so rand, we explained this in our first episodes, mean like gives me random number. Okay, but what's the point of like cosine x plus rand 1 to 200? Random number, okay, rand means like random number between 0 and 1 in a matrix of 1 row, 200 column, this random number. Okay, but again, what's the point? Why this line has been written in this way? So it's just cosine x, okay, it simulate oscillating. So like, let's write here cosine x, it's oscillating wave, okay, and rand 1 to 200, it's just a noise has been added to this wave, so that's why it got represent random number between 0 and 1, okay, in a matrix like 1 row 200 column, all of this noise to the actual stable oscillating wave, which is cosine x. So here it just noise. This I wanna another comment here because this simulates real world sensor data, maybe like sensor management and experiment. However works in engineering and in sectors that has radio waves, there is always noise. There is always like a lot of measure, a lot of tools. like the do measure for accuracy or for clarity. Same in MATLAB. MATLAB, when you do represent some data, a lot of data has been affected of noise in different ways, and this is we try to simulate the code to be like cosine x, which is oscillating wave but under effective noise. Okay, let's keep going. So as I said, let's now scatter, and in order to make a scatter plot, here we go, I have to just write scatter. And as I said one more time, like MATLAB is very straightforward. All the functions derived from the same name. And here we go, x and y. Why scatter plot is healthy? Because the only thing he cares after x and y is what? Sizes. Okay, so let's for now x, then plot y. Maybe for the sizes, he just expect us to have a have a digit or a number, so a value. So let's try now 20. Okay, so the default is 36, so we can try 25. No, 25, not 225. And this will make like 25. Here is the size for all my data. So all the data in a scatter plot now will be size 25. Okay, let's see. Here we go. So this is how it does looks like. And as I said, it x-axis from 0 to 3 pi, which is 9.42. So we can see all the circle ends at 9.42. Okay, y-axis like got represented, but with the noise, like it is not make a clear line. There is noise right and left. Okay, but the default is 36, so let's make 46 and let's see what we're gonna have. Yeah, much better, much better. Okay, what if I wanna like have different sizes for the data? What should I do to make this happen? Okay, so let's see what we can do with this. Let's make a function called size, or the variable, my bad, called sz, which is size. Same thing, line space. And let's now like specify something like 1 to 100, maybe 200. This is the number, the element, number of elements, and 1 to 100. This time I do mean 1 to 100 is the measure, or like is the size values. So I'm just telling MATLAB right now, I'm gonna like replace 46 with this variable, which is sizes, and the sizes will be 1 to 100 and has 200 evenly spaced point in between, which is gonna like vary all the sizes, maybe from smaller to larger. Let's see and let's try. So okay, so here we go. We start very small, very small, very small, and then start to increase. Biggest here, smallest here. So I can make a variation between my points. Okay, if I want to like do different sizes. Okay, so let's keep going. What else we can do? C is marker color. Marker color. So marker means like I have the CEO, which is okay. CEO it just reflect for the episode, I believe 3 or 4. So when I see marker symbols, this means the CEO exists. And whether like on conditions that the CEO exists or any symbol, any marker symbol here, I can use 3 things: marker edge color, marker face color, and marker size. Because there is a symbol that's related to marker does exist, which is in our condition now, it's a circle. So let's try yellow. And now it's yellow, but the yellow is very bad. Let's try magenta maybe. No, okay, I don't wanna waste time. You guys can try all the color you guys want. Let's make it blue. Okay, this is decent. Okay, what if also I wanna like have different colors? Okay, what should I do? Okay, same thing or same idea, same concept. So let's also create line space, linearly spaced vector. Okay, Let's make a variation, maybe 1 to 10. 1 to 10, this was my x-axis, that's why I choose it. And length of x, which is 200, because I have 200 evenly spaced point, so I want 200 different colors. I can then remove the blue and put C instead, and let's see what we get. We got different colors, different sizes with different colors. It's very powerful, especially if I want to like differentiate between like values. Okay, so another very important thing is the field. Field is just gonna fill the circle. Okay, this marker apparently like marker option, but for a scatter he gives you field regardless. Okay, so if we press field right now, we're gonna see all the circle got filled with the same color. Okay, I wanna also mention that what if I just wanna like skip the sizes and go right away and see, but as we can see here, it's like there is an order that I have to keep. Like I have to start with x-axis, y-axis, then sizes, then C. And if I did write anything else, MATLAB won't understand it. So if I want to skip something, I will just write double bracket, double empty bracket. And then the MATLAB gonna understand that I set the sizes for the default, which is 36, without writing anything about it. So when I do write this, means I'm skipping that function, and I do want it to be the default. So if we return back again, now it's kind of like the sizes, now it's all the same, the default, which is 36, and it just like now it changes. Okay, so this is how I can do the sizes and the color with field function, and I can just keep going. I can, so as I said, the CO does exist. So here marker symbol, I can choose any marker symbol I do have. Let's try like something like diamond. And does it change all the function to this shape? And MATLAB like make a very great job of this because it expects me to use marker symbol. Can use pentagon, so it's very up to you guys whether it's professionally or unprofessionally. And as I said, the CO exists, so you guys can use everything: marker edge color, marker face color, everything about marker. All the employer does exist here, so we can use anything we do want. If you want to change the edge, if you want to change the face color, everything is here. Okay, good to go so far.